Hello, I'm coming live to you from Noongar country. So I'm here in Perth. If you are coming on to join me or if you are watching the replay, please say hello so I know you're there and let me know where you're watching from. So in today's video, in today's live, I want to talk a bit more about what is inclusive language. So the the basis of what inclusive language is about addressing people or talking or using language in a way that addresses the person as a person first and then their identifiers later. And I'll give a few examples of there are inclusive ways to use language and there are exclusive ways. So the inclusive ways is when you include people and use a language in a way that makes them feel like they're part of the whole group, they're part of the group with you. And then there is exclusive language, which is when you kind of say there is a them and an us, which causes a separation between people and creates different groups, different cliques, all different kinds of things. And there can be lots of problems that are caused in our societies and our communities when there is a constant use of exclusive language, particularly when that exclusive language paints people in a negative light, whole groups of people in a negative light, or whole groups of people in a single, like a single swipe of the brush. Everyone is the same. So those are the two different types. So I'll give you some examples of some exclusive language. Oh, nearly ended that video. Some exclusive language that is actually quite commonly used in our community. So some are, when you say the disabled, you can say autistic child, you can say wheelchair bound, the elderly, crazy or nuts, someone who is psycho, or even people of color. Now I'm putting a little star next to that one because I'll come back to talk a little bit more in depth about that one. But some inclusive ways that you can address these people to actually address them as a person first and then how they identify later. And so that what that means is then they become part of the group with you and their identifiers then group them a bit differently, but it makes them feel like they're welcome and valued. So you can say people with disabilities. You can say child with autism. You can say a person who uses a wheelchair. You can say a person over the age of whatever. Instead of saying crazy or nuts or psycho or any of those kind of terms, you can say a person with mental illness. Now, I've come to the one with people of colour. Now, this is something that I didn't even realise was an issue until I spoke with some of my friends in that community and also with other groups. So, with people of colour, that term within the community, there are some people who are very open and warm and welcoming to that term. But then what I've also found is that there are other people in that same community that don't like that term. And the reason they don't like that term is because there's a real flattening of their different cultures, because there are so many groups of people from all different nationalities and ethnicities and cultures that are grouped into that group of people of colour. So I would encourage you to be very mindful when using the term people of colour about the people you are talking to and whether that is an acceptable term for them or not. Okay, I do have notes because I did want to make sure I have a few things that I wanted to get across to you today. Now also, another thing that is quite commonly said when people get up to address other people, you might walk into a room and go, oh, hi guys, or ladies and gentlemen, or something along those lines. Now that type of language, even though unconsciously and unknowingly you're using it in a way that is quite a positive, it's like a greeting, and it's seen as a normal way to greet a group of people. But by using those particular terms with hi guys, you're automatically um, excluding all the females in that group. And then when you say things like ladies and gentlemen, you are also not including all the people who do not identify as either male or female, as ladies or gentlemen. So you're not taking into consideration the whole spectrum of gender. And so I would like to encourage you to maybe use some different terms. So some terms that you can use are, you could say hi folks, or hello friends, or welcome guests, or hello all, hello everyone. Something that basically includes all people of all ages, of all races, of all sexualities, of all genders, of all uh, abilities or disabilities. So when you look at it like that, and just realize, and I'm not going to joke you around here, I also catch myself saying some of these things. It is something I'm so used to saying that it does take a lot of conscious mental energy sometimes to catch you before you say them, because when we talk, it's so natural and flowing. So even if you do say it, that's okay, but maybe just pick yourself up and pick yourself up on it and correct yourself. Because also, if you correct yourself in the moment and explain why you've corrected yourself, all those people in the room that you have excluded will appreciate that, will really feel so much more welcomed and feel so much more valued by you as the speaker or as the person addressing everyone else. Now, in terms of language, the things that are seen as normal is they are all just social constructs. There is no such thing as normal. It's only normal because of the systems that we have put in place as a culture and how we have progressed. And what language mainly does is it caters to what that particular culture or society deem as like the ideal human. And that is defined usually by the dominant culture of that community. And I don't know where you're coming from. If you're coming from, let me know what country you're coming from, where you're watching from. I would really love to just know that. But where I am in Australia, and our dominant culture, the ideal human is a middle-aged Caucasian male. And here, that is not the most common grouping or identifier of people. So there are so many of us who are automatically excluded from many conversations, from many speeches, in just the way we talk. Things like, in our brotherhood, or, things that are meant to sound like they're including people, or mankind. There are other kind of hidden or latent things that can tell you. They're like the little, I don't want to say secrets, but kind of like the secret underlying things that can tell you who that dominant culture really perceives as that ideal human. Then, and the thing is, if you don't fit within that ideal human grouping, then you are part of the other. So most of us belong to that other. If you belong to an other, can you let me know in the comments? And so what I'm kind of saying is I'm an other because I am a woman, and I also identify as an Aboriginal woman, and I identify as a Wadawurrung Noongar woman. So that does place me in the other. So what I would like to say to you is, what if we decided to change this? What if we decided to change the way we use language and to have a more conscious way of using language, and to make the normal language a more inclusive language for all of us? Because when we're including one group of people, we are then opening ourselves to the possibilities of including more groups of people. So, me as a Noongar woman, something that I really want to do is open up inclusive language as and open up inclusive cultural language to teach people about inclusion in culture, and into weave my culture through the natural language that we're already accustomed to. So how I'm doing that is I'm actually offering a 5-day free course on, it's an introduction to culturally inclusive language. And over 5 days, I will come into a private group where all people who would like to participate will be, and I'll be giving a 15 to 20-minute training session each day for the 5 days. I'm also going to be putting in other resources in there for people to look at. If you join me live, you can ask questions on the spot and I can answer you. If you're not able to make it live, that is okay too. I understand people will be watching from all over the world, so that is fine. If you come in and watch the videos and the training sessions on, and just let me know on replay that you were there, you can ask me questions and I'll be happy to answer them. So if you want to join that free 5-day training or course, which is an introduction to culturally inclusive language, I will put the link to the sign up in the comments. I would love to see you there. And if you have any questions about anything I've talked about in this video so far, pop them in the comments, put down #replay and ask your question, and I'll be happy to answer them for you. All right, that's it from me. I have kept it to, wow, 12 minutes. Wonderful. I'm sending you much love, and I'm hoping that you join me to help create a more inclusive world. Bye for now.